Have you ever wondered where the quadratic formula comes from? Well, I'm going to show you today. We're going to start with a general quadratic equation. So that is something that looks like ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. All right, now in order to complete this, you have to know how to complete the square. I will link to my most recent how to complete the square video in the description of this video. So if you haven't watched that, you might want to do that first. All right, so what I'm going to do and where the formula comes from is from taking the original or the general form quadratic equation and solving it by completing the square. So the first thing I need to do, since this is an equation and I have two sides to work on, I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'm going to bring the c over to the other side. So I have ax squared plus bx equals minus c. And then in order to complete the square, I can't have a leading coefficient. So I'm going to divide that out of all of my terms here. So now I have x squared plus b over ax, I'm going to leave some space here, equals, and I'm going to leave some space here, minus c over a. All right, now I have to complete the square. If you watched my video, you know I have a method for doing that. So my linear term coefficient becomes 2p in the completing square process. So p is b over 2a, and then p squared, which is what I need to add to both sides, becomes b squared over 4a. I want to add that on the left. And I'm going to add that on the right. A squared. I forgot a squared. There we go. All right, now on the left-hand side, I've got a perfect square. That's going to factor into x plus b squared, x plus p squared. And so x plus p is b over 2a squared. And on the right-hand side, I need to get a common denominator. So my common denominator is going to be 4a squared. So that means I need to multiply by 4a, top and bottom here. And when I do that, I've got a common denominator. So my numerator becomes b squared minus 4ac all over 4a squared. All right, now I want to solve this equation for x. So I've got to square root both sides. So on the left, I get x plus b over 2a. On the right, I get plus or minus, because I'm imposing a square root, the square root of the right-hand side. All right, and then I could simplify that, plus or minus, because the bottom is a perfect square. So I'm just going to put the square root over the top. And when I take the square root of the denominator, I get 2a. And then the last thing I need to do is subtract b over 2a from both sides. So now on the rightmost side there, I already have a common denominator. On the left, put a line under that. On the left, I have x. On the right, because I already have a common denominator, I can combine my numerators, minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And there is your quadratic formula.